Good morning. I hope you're having a great day. So I have a lot of harvesting to do today. I loaded up my truck with buckets and I got out here and I'm going to start harvesting. I have one bouquet to make this morning, but that gives me a lot of time to harvest. So I'm going to take pictures of buckets or take a picture of my truck when I'm done and just give you some footage of the flowers. That's it. I'm going to get to it. That cosmos. It's gorgeous. Oh. I knew I was gonna have a big harvest today, and it was big, but I actually had brought out 4 more buckets, but it is getting close to 11, and I really want to make that bouquet because when I run home for lunch, I can deliver the bouquet, and then I can come back out here and hopefully cut more or get to weeding. I know you're not really supposed to cut in the afternoon, so maybe I'll wait and cut tomorrow. But there are just so many things, and I keep thinking if I get them in my cooler, they won't go to seed, and I can use them, and I probably have plenty. Anyway, this is my harvest for today. This is a pretty big truck, so it's a lot of flowers. I need to carry them in and get them in my cooler, and the ones that don't go in the cooler, I'll just set and turn some air onto them and make that bouquet. So I'm gonna do that now. Yay! I'll give you a close look. Got a few Lisianthus, not many are left. An entire bucket of very full snapdragons. An entire bucket of sunflowers, and I even noticed I missed one out there. A bucket of gomphrena. A few of my little dahlias, some gladiolus. A ton of cosmos back there. Oh, those are so pretty. I think I showed you guys out in the field. And then a whole bunch of status, and I have a lot more status in the yellow variety, but I haven't really been going through it. So I was like, well, my bucket's full, I'll skip the yellow for now. I have been using a lot more of the purple. So I have a lot of yellow snapdragons, I have a lot of yellow status, and then they don't really match the sunflowers, and they don't really match any other flowers, and so I'm always like finding that I don't know what to do with them. I do know people love yellow, so I suppose I could just do a yellow snapdragon bouquet. Or I can put them with the lemon, like the lemon colored sunflowers go really well with my yellow snapdragons, but they droop. So I always have to set them on a vase, and then they last a long time actually. So anyway, that was my harvest today, and I'm gonna get inside, get all these buckets carried in, and then hopefully make a bouquet and make it home before 11:45, because that's when I said I was dropping off the bouquet. I'm always running late these days. I still have a few more shelves, but I pretty much refilled the cooler. It looks like I could fit 4 or 5 more spots and then double it up. Yay! Okay, so I just showed you the bouquet I made, and then I stuck this little red flower in it. So I'm gonna turn you around. So my grandma's favorite color is purple. But when she's feeling ornery, she likes to put on her red shoes. So I always tease her, and sometimes I put a red flower in. And so the other day I was sitting on her porch, and I had brought her one of her bouquet subscriptions, and we laughed and laughed about her wearing her red shoes when she was feeling ornery. So I thought it was really funny. I had one of my good friends called me last night, and they said, I want to buy a bouquet, and they had just bought a bouquet. So I was like, oh no, did your flowers die? I'll just replace them. And she was like, no. She's like, I actually gave them to my mom. She loves them. She's like, but there's this little old lady, and every day when we go by, because they're going up to the racetrack to work for the Nationals, she said she sits on her porch and she waves. And I was like, that's my grandma. Because my grandma sits on her porch and she waves at everybody going by. And I've sat out there before and we wave at everybody going by. So I thought that was so sweet that somebody didn't know it was my grandma and they were going to buy flowers for my grandma. It's actually the second time this year it's happened. At one of the farmers markets, one of my last bouquets to go, was a lady that didn't even know who I was, and she was buying them for the sweet little lady that always waved as she drove by. So I think it's so sweet. So I know that maybe my grandma won't get the red, but I think it's cute. My friend won't get the red, but I can tell her the story. And I did put a little of these pink, just whimsical ones, just to give it a little bit of a different look. And they actually match the zinnias on the backside. So my grandma always faces it. I know where she puts it. She never looks at the whole thing. Like, part of it's like face to the wall, so the back doesn't really matter. But the back is still really pretty with zinnias and stuff. If for any reason somebody turned it around. It's just kind of a different color of purple palette. But I love it. So I decided to weed my Lisianthus. I noticed it's like really dry. I had watered it like quite a few days, but I haven't watered it in 3 days. So I'm definitely going to get the hose on it either tonight or tomorrow. But I've just been pulling weeds out of it, hoping to get like one more flush. I did notice a lot of it had died after I cut it, but there are some that are still going strong. So we'll see. I might get some stems this fall. At least now that all of those weeds are out of there, it might have a chance to drink up some water and keep going. I also went down and I just shaved off the top of this ageratum, probably about halfway down on just half of the rows. Oh, you can kind of see I shaved this row. I just kind of shaved it off. And then I might do the other side too, but I was going to see if maybe this fall I get another flush of it as well. Well, this is odd. I have a tomato plant just growing where my bells of Ireland were. So after pulling weeds around all of my Lisianthus, I decided to go over the row of ageratum and pull where all my bells of Ireland had been. They just kind of died and fizzled out and just weeds started growing. So I cleaned up that area too. I didn't get it before. I'll go see if I think I had a video the other day where I walked by it. So I can maybe show before. And now it looks very nice and clean all the way to my sunflowers. With one little ageratum and a little bit of verbena. And there's a monarch flying through the garden. Every time I try to get it on video, it takes off on me. Doesn't that look much better? I pulled all the weeds and then threw them in the back of my truck and then went over to the ditch and threw them in the ditch. So no more weeds in this area. I did pull the weeds out of the bachelor buttons, and then I also pulled the weeds out of the verbena row so that it's just left by itself. And then that's about as much as I got done today. So I do have a bouquet delivery tomorrow at 9 a.m. I don't know why I agreed to that. I probably should have said, how about 11:45 or 6 a.m. because now it's kind of in the middle of my morning, and that's the best time to pick. It's the best time to pull weeds. It's the best time to do everything out here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get it, like most of the things that can go in the cooler into a vase, put it back into the cooler, and then tomorrow maybe add some like zinnias and stuff like that, so that all I have to do is pull it out and take it and come back, and I can get as much of my harvesting and weeding as possible. As tomorrow starts to warm up, it is supposed to be up in the 90s again and full sun all day. So really, I do like to get as much done in the morning as possible, and then we'll see where the day takes me from there. Hopefully I'll get some orders and can move some flowers. But I do think that is going to be it for today on the flower farm. I did a lot of harvesting. I did a lot of weeding. I made some bouquets. No, I made a bouquet and delivered it. I have another bouquet to make right now. And then I'm probably going to call it a day and head back in. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fabulous day. Okay, so this is a picture of my grandma and my grandpa, rest in peace. So you guys know the lady that always waves. Okay, I know the lighting's really bad. I'm sorry about that. But how many of you realize that, I didn't even realize this until I was editing my video, that I always am like, good morning. Like I'm always waving when I talk to people. So that's where I got it from, just so you know.